Hey everyone, my name is Erin Carranza, and welcome to my page, my channel. Um, I have a little change for tonight. Maybe if I could get my equipment working. Hello, I'm Erin Carranza, and welcome to my page. I was supposed to do an interview tonight, but the person that I was supposed to interview is sick, so I figured I would come on here real quickly and um, get your guys' thoughts. So I know that when my daughter was forcibly removed by CPS, I didn't just have emotional hardship. I was diagnosed with stress induced Crohn's disease, PTSD, anxiety disorder. And the more people I talk to, the more I find that it's not just an emotional pain that we suffer when our children are taken. It's also physical. And I was just wondering how many of you out there have actually been diagnosed with some kind of ailment because of the removal of the stress of the removal of your children. Um, I have won my custody back. I have my daughter back. Well, I did until about 2 weeks ago. And then my husband up and moved and refuses to tell me where she's at. So I've taken him to family court. I filed parental kidnapping stuff and ex parte this and ex parte that. Um, but we have joint custody and he's not allowed to move, but he has because he lost in dependency court. So not only am I physically burdened by this, emotionally burdened, now I have this other stressor to deal with, and I was just wondering what the other parents were going through as well. Have any of you had this problem that I'm having now once you're out of dependency court into family court and the other parent didn't get their way, and so now it's like another shit show? So my husband decided that he didn't like the ruling. He didn't like the fact that I got custody back of my daughter. And he literally up and moved and lied to me about where he was or if he was moving at all until my son was doing Instacart in the area, happened to see him loading up a moving van. And I asked him, no, we're not moving. No, no, I'll let you know if we move. And now I'm like, where's our daughter? Nothing. He's literally just taken her. We've had mediation. We have a hearing coming up. I think I'm going to write a book that's called What Not to Do, thanks to Mario, because literally everything that he is doing, don't do. So don't interfere with the communication with your children and the other parent. Let them put up pictures. He sent back all of the paintings and all of the birthday gifts and all the Christmas presents with my daughter's babysitter back to me. And it was designed to hurt me, and it did. Because that's stuff that I did with my daughter when we were in separation. That was stuff that we did to keep our bond. And it's really quite petty. And I noticed that when he disappeared with my daughter, that my symptoms from the removal of my child started to not come back, but I started to feel like like the other shoe's about to fall again, and I had to go back into my self-soothing techniques, and I had to go back into how I kept my cool during the whole time I was in dependency court. So mine's painting, yoga, which I haven't done in a long time. I should probably do it. Painting and journaling. Um, but how do you guys deal with stress? How do you manage the physical ailments of having your child removed? So, like I said, I had my daughter removed without a warrant based on false allegations because I tried to take my own life. Over a year and a half now, it happened. My husband called on me. He didn't want to pay child support or alimony or any of that. So he watched me take my own life. He watched me have a heart attack, him and his friend and his girlfriend. They didn't get me help. My mother figured out where I was because I guess I called her to say goodbye. She figured out where I was by the carpet. And so my husband pretended he didn't know what was happening. I dropped my sister off, I dropped my daughter off with my sister. And then I went and I video chatted with him and I recorded it. I recorded my suicide, me begging him for help, and him and his friends watching. And when I was in the hospital, didn't come to see me. I didn't know what was happening. He wasn't talking to me. He left me alone in there, no glasses, no clothes. I was naked, just a hospital gown. And then when I got out, I picked up my daughter. He didn't see her for over a month after my suicide attempt. 33 days later, CPS comes to my house, says that I'm fine, I'm good, we have no trouble leaving your daughter with you. And then they go and visit my husband, and then they remove my daughter without a warrant. And I don't know if you guys seen it, but I posted part of my interview with CPS or DCFS because I had it recorded on my nanny cams. I also have my daughter's interview recorded on our nanny cams, and that was very interesting. I'm trying to figure out how to share that because my child's in it, but they're literally trying to get my child to say that either I beat her and abuse her, or her daddy beats her and abuses her. And my daughter said, no, 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 no. Thank God my daughter is my daughter, and she uses her little voice because these two women were literally trying to get my daughter to admit to something that never happened. They told me, oh, your daughter said that your husband spanks her too hard, is abusive to her. And I said, you're lying. My husband might be a lot of things, but he doesn't beat our daughter. Well, that's not what your child said. Well, I know that you're lying. And once they found out that I had it all recorded, it changed. I got punished because they knew I had them on recording. So I had my daughter taken away because I tried to commit suicide. Not for abuse, not for neglect, not for failure to protect, none of that. I got it because I tried to take my own life. My daughter wasn't even with me. My daughter was with my sister in a whole nother location. And before I tried to take my own life, I called her father to go and get her. But he was too busy drinking and partying with his friends and watching a fight and didn't want to pick her up. So he just wanted to sit there and he wanted to watch me overdose, and he wanted, it's a lot cheaper than alimony and child support. So, no abuse, no neglect, none of that. I didn't do any of that. I had her removed without a warrant based on hearsay, false allegations, shit talk. We need to change that. But the removal is so extreme that I have physical problems from it, not just heartbreak and loneliness and this pain I can't even describe, having your child taken from you. My son, who's now 22, he was diagnosed with leukemia when he was 6. He was a week before his 6th birthday. So we did chemo with him for 6 years. And having my kid removed was worse than watching my kid go through chemotherapy. When my son was sick, I could cuddle him and hug him and kiss him, and I was there for him, and I played games with him. But I didn't know where my kid was during removal. You never know when you're going to or if you're going to see your child again. But you know they're out there. It's the weirdest, most horrible thing. So I want to know how many of you guys have actually been diagnosed with physical problems because of the removal of your children. I'm suing DCFS for a whole number of things. And come to find out, the caseworker on my previous case helped my ex pack his shit and move. You know, if I didn't have photographic evidence, I would be like, no way. But I do. And it just goes to show you that these people don't give a shit about the kids. They just are there for whatever reason. And I don't think people understand how hard it is to go through this. Now, I've only been doing this under a year. My daughter was removed for 7.5 months. Got her back. Now she's missing. But that's because my ex didn't like the outcome, and so he just packed his shit and moved. And I always say, I'm trying to stay grateful, that everything happened. So I'm grateful that he has packed his shit and moved without doing the proper paperwork or whatever he's supposed to do when you have joint custody, because it just furthers my proof of parental alienation. I just, I'm thankful for every time he sent a letter back that I wrote to my daughter. I'm thankful every time he didn't let me speak to her on a holiday. I'm thankful for all of those things because in the long run, it ends up benefiting me and my child. I don't know how he's going to explain himself. I don't care. I don't care where he lives. I don't care where he goes. I just care about my baby. And it's pretty sad that you're so upset about what's happened that you go and you literally relocate because you didn't get your way. So make sure you document everything, get receipts, reach out, find support groups, make sure you have an attorney, or if you have a public defender and you need help redirecting them. I did. My public defender and I didn't get along at first. I asked her if she was done being a petty bitch. My daughter was in jeopardy and in danger. And she didn't, she said, what the fuck you say? But now her and I love her. I'm grateful for her. She walks on water, in my opinion, because once I stopped and I got her attention and I redirected her, she fought for my child like that was her niece. And I'm forever indebted to her. And so if you need help redirecting your attorney, I can help you. Do as much research as you can, take as much classes as you can, watch as many videos as you can. Make sure you are not alone, you're not isolated. you need a support group, I'm always here. I'm coming back to do my regular shows. I'm just dealing with the abduction of my kid by her daddy. And also you can always tune in to like The Secret on KABC at 2 p.m. tomorrow. There's lots of good advice on there. Of course, YouTube is just chocked full of really good videos. I suggest watching a couple on the parental alienation. I have an expert coming on that talks about parental alienation, but we are going to talk about the parental alienation that happens when CPS is involved. And I'm really excited about that one because they actually drive a wedge and it starts from the jump. And nobody thinks about it that way. Everyone thinks, oh, it's just parent on parent. Well, no, not just parent on parent. Your caseworker does. They get in there and try to find wiggle room, try to get your kid go one way or the other. So make sure you reach out to people. You can always email me. You can go to any kind of community center. They have counseling. You can reach out to my friend Brian Hamilton. He is a great therapist. Um, but there's lots of resources here for you guys. You're not alone. And let me know how many of you guys actually have physical symptoms. And hopefully, hopefully, what we were supposed to do tonight, we can do tomorrow. It's a really great interview. So, guys, have a good night. And let me know in the comments if you guys want to see anything, if you have any questions for me. I'm here.